I've always been like this too. I like surf in a certain vein. Like right now, I'm really into those, what I'm calling mid-length for black belts. And if it's 4-foot sucking hollowed tubes, I'm on my 8.3, 8-channel single fin speed egg. That's what a mid-length for black belt is. And getting blasted sometimes, but getting some strobers too, you know?
So that board design looks radical to me, and it looks different than anything that I've seen. Can you explain? First, does it have a name, like a model name, and then explain what it is?
It's a little tongue in cheek, but yeah, I call it the mid-length for black belts.
Oh, that is the name. Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought that was just the way you were describing
it. Yeah.
Amazing.
And you know, black belt's a pretty loose term in the Christian Beamish dojo, you know, like, and it doesn't take a particular skill to ride the board. You want to surf the board with intention. So I suppose you have to be somewhat of a good surfer. But yeah, it's very much a speed egg shape. And I built it as I was telling you earlier. I designed it to kind of get the most out of really clean, but honestly kind of flat-faced, high-tide C Street early morning or Rincon early morning. That's my surfing window, with the thought that, okay, it's 8.3. It's kind of got this speedy aspect to the egg design. It'll panel over, and then the channels give it this other dimension that I just love the feeling of, that I'm addicted to. And so you'll panel over the board, and then channels are activate. I was invited to come surfing in Maine during Hurricane Lee this September, and surf this reef double overhead, like powerful wedging. The waves are insane when they come over there, this one setup they've got. And the thing was like a mini Sunset Beach, and I'm riding that 8.3 kind of speed egg, and the thing just came alive. It just has these gears and traversing the pocket sort of turns, and really driving bottom turns, and the channels like elevate and accelerate the board.
The channels, for the listeners, the outline, the tail of the board, the back of the board gets really narrow compared to the nose of the board. And the channels are like fangs running off the back and the sides, essentially.
Yeah, where they exit. So it's as if you've got sort of 4 wings starting, I don't know, probably 18 inches up. Like, it's pretty profound. It cuts in, the tail sort of steps in where each of those channel points release. And as I was saying to you, you know, it might be it's like, whoa, lots of bells and whistles on that thing. Like, what's the story? It's sort of been a very natural evolution in terms of I was doing the board that I still do quite regularly, what I call a kingfisher, which is a 7.7 to an 8.2 fish. It's got a fuller nose and just a nice kind of drawn, speedy outline, very directional. And by that, I mean, you know, you sort of panel over the bottom turn and ride high in the pocket. And then when you run out in front, it's sort of a cut down rather than a full rail, like hook into the whitewater. Very, very much about projecting and gliding. So that feeling, with the feeling that I was getting from the Morning of the Earth style round pin channel bottom twins, I was really liking those, which got me sort of exploring twin fins, and it's totally away from the channel. It's actually double wing swallow, sort of like rocket fish outline. Those are really killer. And then still messing with the channel bottoms, going sometimes single fin, sometimes 2+1, really, really loving the channels in especially in pockety surf. I find that they do their work in a wider range of conditions than people often think of channel bottoms working in. Show me the board that works really well in complete jumbled up, torn up surf. It's always going to be that. But there's that feeling. What is the thing about channels? There's this element of lifting. You can kind of rock back on the channels and you weight them, and that compression of the water squirting through the channels literally levitates the tail. And so like in an open face turn, it becomes sort of like a controlled drift, not slidey, but like it's like this air cushion turning, maybe snowboard turning a little bit, like you're lofted, and it's such a cool feeling, and vibrant, you know. Yeah. And so, so how do I work that into what I thought was for small waves, but now I'm realizing like this speed egg shape, especially I accelerate the tail rocker. I feel like, I mean, this board just wanted more in that main surf, that like thick, powerful, really was like Sunset Beach, like had a big bowl and like a nice traversing pocket. So yeah, the speed egg, then the channels kind of elevates that thing out of the mid-length, hence the mid-length for black belt.
Gotcha.
Moniker.
Yeah. It's beautiful looking and it looks fascinating.
Yeah, it's pretty fun, pretty dynamic.
Yeah, it looks dynamic. Exactly.